honey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maliju Mamativa, aka The Go Getter. This is the place where you learn better so you can do better and be better. It's all about leveling up today. It's all about leveling up in this channel. So, go getters, let us get into today's story. Today, I am about to spill the tea and give you a little bit about my life. I'm very private generally, but you know what? I'm going to share a little bit of my personal stuff. You know, go out there. I mean, what do you have to lose, right? You only live once, they say. So yes. Oh God, I think actually very few people know this, but because I love you guys and I am here to give you content and I'd like for you guys to know me a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna do this for you guys. So I want to tell you how I started reading and what has my journey been to get to this point where I get to read the way I read today and I get to be, you know, who I am today. Because believe you me, for me to level up on this level, there had to be a lot of things that I had to learn that I didn't know, and I know them now, and I'm a happy, happy girl. So let's get into the story. So guys, what happened was, this thing started at a very young age, like all the way to like primary school. So let me make a disclosure. First of all, my mom is a teacher, guys. Let me tell you, if your mom is a teacher, there is no time to play. You take your education very seriously. You take your learning very seriously. I think I started school at around 4 because I'd go with my mom like to school. So my mom was mainly teaching Betty, you know. Everybody there was Betty, so my mimi mumu, I was at level 100. By the time I got to grade 1, like I was a boss, okay? I was a boss. So I had to change schools so I could move closer to my mom. She was working far. She was working in the Lephalale side of Limpopo. So she moved me a little bit closer to her. So I went to boarding school starting in grade 2. However, the process to get into the school, guys, they had an entire interview. You understand? Like, they interview you to see if you're a proper candidate to be a part of the school. Like, English is one of the tests. And that's where my world came falling down. Long story short, I passed the test and I got into grade 2. You know, I'm in this new school, which is an English medium school. We have white teachers, and your girl doesn't know English as much, you know? Coming from Kasi, hey, kwazi kwabanzima kaloku sana. So no, I started my reading journey. I mean, everything was in English now, you know, although my teacher in grade 2 was black, but it's an English medium school. So I realized that I struggled a lot in terms of like reading. I remember we even had like classes. So my teacher who was in grade 2, I hope it's okay to disclose names, né? Yeah. So my teacher in grade 2, her surname, Miss Mabuka. So Miss Mawoka used to teach us and help us. So every day after school, I'd go to like classes to learn how to read for like an hour or so. Yeah, so every day I had to go for like reading classes in my grade 2 because it wasn't coming through for the girl, it wasn't happening. So I started reading them, you know, picked up a little bit. I also remember like in our class, we used to have books at the back of the class as well. So we'd also engage with such content. You know, I remember like the books were so much fun. It was Ben's what, like different titles. So, you know, every now and then I'd engage with the books when I wasn't talking, because most of the time, like, your girl Your girl likes to socialize, so most of the time, like I was staying at the back seat, guys. It was lit. I still remember that I was sitting next to Malisela, Sfati, and Mutokwa. Like, listen, it was lit at that corner. We were always the noisemakers. But anyway, I still struggled with reading. Go on to grade 3, we were taught by Miss Erasmus. You know, she was such a kind lady. You know, she would teach us quite a lot, and you know, she'd allow us to come and do her hair, like with massage her actually. Give her a massage when she's marking books. She'd give us stickers for work performance. So that was great. And I remember sometimes, like, when one of the teachers was not there, like the other teachers would come to our class. So there was Miss Jordan, right? So Miss Jordan used to come and read for us, guys. You know, where you have the teacher sit in front of the class and the kids were sitting on the floor. You know, she would read like a Goosebumps series, like there are books called Goosebumps, guys. And they have stories about like fantasy, pure fantasy, mystery, all those things. You'd have like aliens coming into like Earth, and you know, they just have all these interesting stories. I remember listening to her and I was just drawn to the stories because they were so interesting, you know, and she wrote so well. So I really enjoyed that. Then we proceed Kaloku. We go over to the grade 4s. So one thing about me, I noticed that, you know, meds, I was the girl. Like grade 4, I was flowing, you know, like the water. Maths was easy, maths was doable. You know, I could divide without using a calculator. Like I was doing my thing. But then English, guys. And now the stakes are high because you're a senior now, you know. So one of the things that some of the teachers would do is they would like select you to like read for the whole class. Oh, guys, didn't I dread that moment? And the thing is, I was confident, right? And I was very talkative. So I was very, like, they would choose me. The probability of the teacher choosing me was almost like always high. And every time they choose me, because I was bad. Like I was so fearful of it at the same time. I didn't want to read because I knew I was so bad. You know, I could read for myself, right? Because even if I trash you, it's fine. I understand you at the end of the day. And nobody would laugh at me. So I've always enjoyed reading for myself because I'm patient with myself and I can take it at my own pace. But when I had to take it out there for the peoples, I always had this fear and I was always like embarrassed. Like that was my biggest embarrassing like weakness that I had. So that was fine. I struggled, but maths, I was pashaj. Then I proceed and move on to high school, right? So high school now, I'm staying in a different place. So for my primary school, I went in like still in Limpopo, but more towards Lephalale. Now high school, I go to Polokwane. So having to move from Lephalale to Polokwane, now this is like 4 hours away from like one another. My mom staying there by Lephalale. Now I'm staying home. And I'm going to this new school where I don't know anybody, you know. So it was quite lonely. I couldn't make friends easily because the kid in my school, now I was going to school in town, like, you know, God has provided. So I was going to school in town and all these kids were like from, you know, the schools in town, and here I come. It's not even a Catholic school. Like, our school was just secluded there on its own there. If you call it a farm school, that could fit it quite right. So I struggled to make friends, especially for the first, you know, few months when I was there. And I was staying alone at home at the same time. I think throughout my high school, I was staying alone at home because my mom was working far. So it was quite a lonely period, you know. And I found out that I could actually excel in school because I had a lot of time to study. I didn't cook, I didn't wash my laundry quite often. Like, you know, I was doing whatever I wanted when I wanted, you know. And I wasn't like the street smart kid. So I was probably always at home most of the time. So I remember one of the holidays, my mom comes home. So let me tell you a bit about my mom. My mom is a risk taker, guys. My mom is a businesswoman. So if she feels like an opportunity has come that she wants to pursue, hi, she will pursue it, hey? So now this network marketing company was like popular at the time. And you know, guys, you know, with this network marketing company, their presentations are lit. They show you a life that you're just like, hi, namngiyayifuna, guys, namngiyayifuna. So they showed us this lit presentation, but in that presentation, I identified something. So I saw a book. The book is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. They're like, yeah, these are the books that I recommended that we should read. So, you know, you go for it. So I was like, oh, I've always loved reading, you know. So I should definitely check that out. So I went to like see, no, it was P&A actually in Savannah Mall. I went to P&A. I checked it out the first time I couldn't find it. So I went again and then I checked it out and then I found it. So the thing with me is, like, I always had money, right? Like my coins were always intact. I knew how to save from an early age. And you know, when you perform well in school, my school, they used to give us money. So guys, I always had money on me, right? So it wasn't a problem buying the book at all. So I bought the book. Let me see. Man, I don't have it here with me. I'll show it to you guys sometime. So I buy it and I start reading it. So all those things that I pull out from the presentation now are coming, and you know, life is good, man. Life is good. I'm learning. I'm starting to think of business ideas. I'm sharing them with my mom. I'm like, oh my God, girl. Like they're saying that we could get into things like property, we could start businesses and stuff like that. So I really grew an interest because first of all, I knew we were not rich, right? So this provided me an opportunity to learn about like making money in business. And then second of all, it improved my reading skills because remember, so I just started to develop a love for reading. So although I had money, but I didn't have enough money for the number of books that I wanted to buy. So I figured, let me go get a library card. So local library, I went there, I got a library card. Guys, they even knew me, guys, in the library. The librarians were my friends, guys. Like, they'd be like, oh, Malichima, you're back. I'm like, haha, by popular demand. By popular demand, she's back and she's done reading her book. So I got so many of Robert Kiyosaki's books from the library. But like, it teaches you how to be strategic. Ask yourself, if you can't buy a book, how can you afford it, right? How can you get that book? So if I can't find them like locally, when I finish the local books by Robert Kiyosaki, the people I like to pay, now I like money books, you see. Because I realized that we don't gotta be poor. We don't gotta be poor, honey. We can do something about it. And that was about to get better, be better, and do better. So I go to the library in town, and then I start getting books from there. And you know, it was just so cool. Everybody in my school knew, guys, that I was reading. Like every time we went to school in the morning. So okay, normal people drive like, you know, reasonable period, like 30 minutes. But with our driver, when we went to school, he drove like 15, 20 minutes max. Guys, and you're always playing the latest music. I would always be reading. Like I'd be that girl. I'm sure they were looking at me like, that sounds crazy. Yeah. But I loved reading so much, and I got to read so many books. Whenever we were having free periods at school, I'd be the girl who's reading, you know. So the thing about books, they teach you to really level up. I remember I used to be part of you know, the SEO at school, Student Christian Organization. I've been involved in there, guys. I was doing poetry. Yes, I used to write poetry, and I was in the poetry group. You know, I'd engage in the singing. I loved going to the SEO. I'd also be in the debate team. You know, whenever we had debates, sometimes I'd be out there and, you know, building my speaking skills, because that's one of the things that, you know, you learn from Robert Kiyosaki, where you must build yourself and become better. So with whatever resources that I had around me, I always wanted to make sure that, you know, I'm growing. I remember going for a science project, you know, like I knew it was all about the money. I didn't get natural science. I'm like, acids and bases, where what is happening? I can't. But when it came to accounting, I was like, okay, now I understand. When you make money, this is what happens. When you lose money, this is what happens. So that's where I learned quite a lot. I improved my reading skills so much. And not only my reading skills, you know, I improved my life. It helped improve my family's life, even with my mom. Like, we speak about several ideas, like, honey, how about we get into this? How about we try this out? So it has become my life, literally. I think if you could classify me as book smart, I would very much accept that with pride and joy, because I would say I am book smart. Street smart, the levels are not so high, but books have built my life, and I've just enjoyed, you know, living and reading. It has become a source of, you know, energy for me. It has become a part of my life. I can't imagine living without reading nowadays. Hence, I have a YouTube channel that is based on books. I've learned so much, guys, and I've improved so much in so many ways because of books. You know, sometimes I'd be like, it's a free period. Why would I be chilling outside talking about boys while I could be reading, talking about money? Not that I didn't have a boyfriend at the time. No, I did, but I just felt that the conversations, what I was learning was more empowering, you know? I mean, come on, like, we used to read, like, yo guys, I used to read like powerful books, like powerful books. So at a very young age, I just got groomed. So, and I was like, I'm not letting this go. I'm not letting this go. So now, fast forward, you know, several years, many years, whatever it is, I am here and I'm a confident reader, guys. I can read properly now. I've built myself to be able to read properly. Not only do I read now, you know, I've grown my life, I've grown my career, I've grown, like, everything about myself has literally improved to be on a better level. Like, so yeah, guys, that's my journey with books. And that's how I got to where I am. I can't live without books at this moment in time in my life. Listen, if you read books, I probably like you, because I like people who read. They interest me. We have so much to talk about. Like, books for me, they are big, they are huge. Like, they're a point of interest. They're a whole discussion, not even a point of discussion. They are a whole entire discussion. So yes, guys, that's a little bit about me and how I overcame my fear of not being able to read and has turned it into my favorite hobby. Who said? Who said it? You can always prosper, guys. You can always prosper. Tough times never last. Tough times never last, but tough people are right here, right now. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please go ahead, click the subscription button. Do go ahead and click the bell. I am uploading on Sunday mornings every week, and I'm looking forward to that all the time. I love making videos for you guys and engaging with you guys. I see you guys in the comments. You guys are telling me, like, your experiences in relation to the videos I put out. I love that, and please do keep communicating with me, and I'll also do the same. You know, I love to comment. So tell me, what is your reason for reading, or why would you want to start reading as a whole? You know, what is your main source? Why are you doing this? So that, you know, we could learn from each other, and it could be more reasons for us to read, get better, do better. It's always like that, and enjoy, you know, reading. Reading is such a great hobby as well. You can read, you know, romance, but let me not get into that. I thank you, guys. Please subscribe and like this video. Mwah.